so this is our Chapter 1 test, study sheet, pages 5 and 6. Just have a few more things we need to finish up. So on this one, right, we're still going to draw our line. There's no parentheses, no like terms on the left or right. But we do have a variable over here that needs to be moved over to the left side. So we have to do the opposite. So we're going to add 6x, right? So negative 6, positive 6, that cancels out. So I'm left with 2. Over here, negative 6, positive 6, that cancels out. I'm left with 3. Now, is 2 equal to 3? No, that's clearly not equal. So that is not equal. So therefore, whenever it's not equal, that means there is no solution. Okay? We did everything right, but there's no solution. Okay. So on number 21, there are parentheses to deal with on this one. Distributive property gives us negative 4x. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Bring down your equals, your negative 4x, and your minus 8. Okay? There are no like terms on each side, but we do have this variable on each side that we need to put together. So this is a minus, and we're going to add 4x. Add 4x. Well, again, negative 4x plus 4x cancels out. So we bring down our negative 8, bring down your equals. It also cancels out over here. But this time, they are equal. So when they are equal, that means there's infinitely many solutions. Okay. So if it's not equal, everything eliminates, right? The variable eliminated. So if the variable is eliminated, like here, or like down there, if it's not equal, it's no solution. If it is equal, it's infinitely many solutions. Okay, on number 22, at the movie concession stand, a bag of popcorn costs $3.89, a drink costs $3.74, and a box of candy is $3.53. Avery buys 2 bags of popcorn, 2 drinks, and 2 boxes of candy. What's the total cost? All right, so we're doing 2 times the popcorn plus 2 times the drink cost plus 2 times the candy cost. All right. Now the other way is just to add those up and multiply by 2. Either way is fine. So we're going to go 2 times 3.89. And so that gives you $7.78 plus 2 times 3.74. So that's going to give you $7.48 plus, we need to do $2 times 2 times $3.53. So that is equal to $7.06. All right, so then we add all those up. 7.78 plus 7.48 plus 7.06. Oops. And so that's going to be a total of $22.32. Okay, can you do that again with number 23? Okay, so number 23, we have all of our costs. PB&J costs $6.02, bag of chips $2.63, and a drink costs $2.18. So Fabian buys 3 sandwiches, 3 chips, 3 drinks. So it's 3 times the $6.02 plus 3 times the $2.63 plus 3 times the $2.18. All right, $6.02, $2.63, $2.18. All right. So then I'm going to clear that, and we're going to go 3 times 6.02 Hold on. Let me start over. Okay, so that is $18.06. So then it's 3 times 2.63. And that is $7.89. And then we have 3 times $2.18. So that is $6.54. So then we need to add those up. So we're going to go 18.06 plus 7.89 plus 6.54. So we add all those up and we get $32.49. Okay. All right. Now we're going to use a distance formula. So for this one, you need the D equals RT to do this one. Avani and her family are visiting family in another part of the country. They decided that they would take the scenic route, taking a 3-day road trip. On Wednesday, they drove an average speed of 60 miles per hour for 6 hours. On Thursday, they drove an average speed of 35 miles per hour for 8 hours. And then on Friday, they drove 15 miles per hour faster on Thursday for 3 hours. Okay, so we have to find the distance for those 3 days and then add those together. Okay, so let's do Wednesday first. So Wednesday, so remember using rate times time. So we're going to go 60 miles per hour times 6 hours. So that is, this is our distance. So our distance that day is 60 times 6, which is 360 miles. And then on Thursday, our rate was 35, and our time was 8. So we go 35 times 8, and that is 280 miles. Now, Friday, it says we went 15 miles per hour faster. All right, so I'm going to take the 35 plus the 15, and that gives me 50. So on Friday, we went 50 miles per hour that day. All right, so we're going to go 50 times 3 hours, and that's going to be 150 miles that day. So then they say, what is the total distance? So you basically add those three up, add those 3 days up. So we go 360 plus the 280 plus the 150, and that equals 790. So the total is 790 miles. All right, now I want you to try number 25. It's the same thing, it just has fractions in it. So we're going to talk about that, okay? So Nathan and his family are taking a trip by car. They decided to break it into 2 segments. The first segment is 42 miles per hour for 3 1/3 hours. In the second segment, they drove 38 for 2.5 hours. What is their total distance, okay? So remember, it's the distance equals the rate times the time. So for the first part, right, their rate was 42, and the time was 3 1/3 hours. Okay, now, so what we're going to do is in our calculator, if you'll notice, we have our fraction button, and just above that is a mixed number button, So I can do this. I'm going to go 42 times, and then I'm going to hit this. So we're going to hit the second function, and then hit this button right here. Notice how it gives me the mixed number, okay? So again, second function, and hit your fraction button. So that's going to give me, and then I'll go 3, hit the right arrow, and then 1, down arrow, third. So it's 42 times 3 1/3. So that gives me 140 miles traveled on that day. And then the second leg of the trip, right, 38 miles per hour times 2.5 hours. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. 38 times, and then I need my fraction button, but I have to do the mixed number. So I'm going to hit the second function, hit that button. Notice how I get these 3 little boxes. So it's 2.5, 2 and 1/2, like that. So that's going to give me 95 miles. So then what's the total distance? We're going to add those together. 140 plus 95. And that equals a total distance of 235 miles. Okay. All right, the last type that we're going to see here is find the perimeter of the rectangle. Okay, so remember, perimeter is if I add them all up, right? So I have to add up, right? It's the distance all around. Okay? So, but to be able to do this, I have to know what these lengths are to find those lengths. Now, I know in a rectangle, the opposite sides are equal. So this side over here equals that over there. They're the same length. So that's what I'm going to start off with. 8x minus 5 is equal to 3x plus 5. And then after I solve for x, I'll plug it back in to the equation. Okay, so now we're back to what we've been doing this whole time, right? There are no parentheses. There's no like terms. But I do have this variable that needs to go over there. So I have to subtract 3x like this. So then I'm going to get 5x. Bring down your 5. Bring down your equals. That cancels. And we bring down this 5. Now I have this, right? I need to get this alone. So I got to deal with that next to it. So I'll add 5. So bring down your 5x. Bring down your equals. Bring down your 10. All right, so then now we're ready to divide. Divide by 5. So x will equal 2. X will equal 2. Now that's not the final answer. We now take that and we plug it back in here. So I'm going to take that first one, and 8 times 2 minus 5. Okay, so take that 2 and I plug it right in there for x. So that's, I'm going to come over here and just put all that in my calculator. 8 times 2 minus 5 is 11. So that's 11. You could also think about it like this. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 minus 5 is 11. Okay? Now that means this side is 11, and this side is also 11, because the opposite sides are congruent. So then the other thing we need to do is, we know what x is, so we're just going to plug it in there. All right? So I'm going to go 4 times, right, 2 minus 4. All right, now, you can go over here and go 4 times 2, and then minus 4, right? You can write that down just like that, and that's going to give me 4. You could also think about it like 8 minus 4 is 4. Okay, so that means this side over here is 4. This side over here is also 4, because the opposite sides are congruent. So the overall perimeter is going to be 4 plus 11 plus 4 plus 11, or however you want to write it. We just have to add up all the sides. So we add that up. We go 4, however you want to do it, 4 plus 11 plus 4 plus 11. And that gives me an overall perimeter of 30 feet. Okay, great job. We will, now you're ready for the test.